Hi everyone! Welcome to my car. I hope you enjoy this video. Every year I watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I love that movie. It's perfect in my eyes. Can't get enough of it. I'm sure if you gave me a bunch of money and a film crew, I would turn out something very similar. 100% my vibe, and of course, I was interested in its creators. The film is the only movie produced, written, and directed by three brothers known as the Kyoto Brothers. Now, this wasn't just a one-and-done career moment for the brothers. They ended up specializing in practical special effects, puppetry, and stop-motion animation. They created the stop-motion scenes in Elf, the childhood trauma horrifying Large Marge in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and a lot of stop-motion Simpsons gags. Recently, they did the effects in the motion picture Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, which is currently one of my favorite films. Puppet-wise, they built puppets for films such as Team America World Police, Ernest Scared Stupid, and the little-known short-lived series The Mr. Potato Head Show. Now, if you think that I'm going to talk about the Mr. Potato Head Show, you are incorrect. That may be obscure, but there is something even more obscure and mostly lost that the Kyoto Brothers produced. It was called the Crayon Box.
The Crayon Box! The Crayon Box! Where anything can happen, it's time to watch The Crayon Box and let you overcome.
The poem The Crayon Box That Talked by Shane DeRelf was released in book form in October 1997. The book was released in conjunction with a short animated film that you can easily find online and a television show, which is mostly lost. The show, The Crayon Box, ran from September 13, 1997 to June 13, 1998 on YTV Junior in Canada and in syndication alongside Bananas in Pajamas in the US. The show aired until at least 2001, as in the second available episode there is an ad for the film version of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which was released in 2001. However, shortly after its final airing, only 2 of the original episodes have reappeared. Speaking of producers, the show was produced not only by the Kyoto Brothers, but also by Sunbow Entertainment, Random House Studio, and Polygram Television. I'm not sure if it's a good or a bad thing when there are multiple producers. Did these companies have hope that the show would catch on, or did they contribute very little just to get their name on another series? I don't really understand producing at all, and I don't see myself going into that field. As I've talked about before on this channel, a show created for syndication involves creating an entire show on a usually low budget and selling it to television stations. Of course, it only appears YTV purchased the licensing for the show, and I am unable to find what channels it aired on in the US. If you watched this show at all as a child in the United States, please let me know what channel it was on. In the 90s in Canadian television, there were a lot of puppet shows. I watched Sesame Park, Groundling Marsh, Chicken Minute, Kitty Cats, Book Mice, and Little Star, the last of which I'll probably talk about in a later video. I think that's why YTV thought the Crayon Box would be a good addition to YTV Junior. The show was expected to garner a large audience, and 19 months before its air date, toy prototypes were presented at the Toy Fair, which is a giant trade show that continues to this day. The toys were to be released on January 1st, 1998 to the US market. I have no idea if they were ever released. There was also talk of distributing the series on home video in 1998, and this evidently didn't happen. It seems the great hope for the Crayon Box's success all but disappeared, as it stopped airing and never made its way back to television. The show was made with notable puppeteers and voice actors in the industry. This included James Murray, Elizabeth Daly, Donna Kimball, Greg Ballora, Kristen Charney, and Phil Barron. All of these puppeteers would work on notable films and shows, with many appearing in The Muppets Tonight, The Adventures of Timmy the Tooth, and Team America World Police. Fun fact, Elizabeth Daly is also known for voicing Tommy Pickles on Rugrats, as well as Buttercup in the Powerpuff Girls. So the cast of the Crayon Box contains some heavy talent, and it's a shame it has disappeared to time. There are 2 episodes available online. One is called 3 Little Piggies, and the other Oink, Oink, and Away. The show opens with the titular talking crayons giving out a brief poem to inform the viewer on what may happen during the episode. Then a character experiences some sort of problem that is remedied by the reading of a story. There is also an animated section of the show that usually happens when puppetry cannot be utilized, like when the sheriff gets his hat trapped on the top of a cactus and needs to lasso it down. There is a substantial amount of characters other than the titular crayons. Very handy to me, the theme song introduces each character, as there are so many, and I'm sure it's hard to keep track when you're watching as a small child. Here is the theme.
Puppy is a brown
brown bear. Daddy's a cat.
We does.
Lump is kind of purple.
That's right.
The sheriff's lost his hat.
Again?
Jack lives in a box.
It's got its ups and downs.
The Gallop sisters sing, and Hugo gallops round.
Tally-ho!
The Crayon Box.
The Crayon Box, where anything can happen. It's time to watch. The Crayon Box, so come on and start clapping.
Piggy Banks is very pink.
And equally as cute, I think.
Which brings us to the baby who will end this song and take us to
The Crayon Box, the Crayon Box, where anything can happen. It's time to watch. The Crayon Box, and thank you all for clapping.
The personality of Bobby the Bear is similar to that of Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House, and the plot and style are very similar to a show called The Secret Life of Toys.
Come in, we're playing toys. Play just like our girls and boys. That's the secret life of toys. Come and see the mystery. The secret life of toys.
Like, they're really almost the same show, except The Secret Life of Toys had a higher budget, better quality writing, and was produced by the Jim Henson Company. It also contained absolute icons of the puppet industry, including Jerry Nelson, Dave Goelz, and Louise Gold. The show also came out only 3 years before The Crayon Box. Sadly, The Secret Life of Toys is also greatly forgotten, but is a lovely show of great quality that I very much enjoy watching even to this day. The Crayon Box, of course, was more hastily made due to its lower budget. Thankfully, the cast, crew, and production companies weren't affected by the lack of success the Crayon Box had. Everyone went on to do bigger and better things. With the return of stop motion and puppetry into the world of mainstream filmmaking, the Kyoto brothers are sure to have quite the future ahead of them, and I hope to see them do more horror along the lines of Killer Clowns from Outer Space in the future. But the need for the emergence of the Crayon Box is in such low demand, it will possibly forever remain a piece of obscure puppet media. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
We're not, and trouble comes.
We might get blown away.